So hello guys, and in this video I will show you guys how to have this custom inspector without extra coding. So basically we will use the free add-on that is called NaughtyAttributes, and it will expand on the Unity's attributes, and you can have a lot of custom stuff. So for example, you can have the box group, which will group your variables into separate groups, and you can have a header for them, and in this way you can very nicely clean up your inspector. You can also have the read-only values, so they are not, you can't change them in the inspector, but they are just here to show you the values of them, and it's a lot better because you don't have to go to debug mode each time to see the private variables. You can just be in the normal and have this nice panel that shows you private variables. So let's start. So basically you can download it from the asset store. So if you go to asset store and you search for NaughtyAttributes, it should pop on your screen, and the first one is only one asset like this, and I already have it downloaded, but after you download it you can click import and it will import it, but I already have it imported, so as you can see there's nothing to import. So after you import it, it should be in your project and now you can use it. So I'll create a example script, so I'll call it NaughtyAttributes examples, and I'll create an empty game object that will just basically show me the stuff. So I'll call it NaughtyAttributes example. So I'll drag it out so you can see it better, and I'll drag the script onto our NaughtyAttributes example game object. So now let's double click on it to open it. Okay guys, so after we opened our script, let me zoom it in. I deleted the start and update function because we will not need them. And in order to use those attributes, you have to write using NaughtyAttributes, and it will give you all the attributes that is inside this asset. So now let's compare them. So basically the typical Unity one is called header. So you can have the header, and I'll call it, for example, personal info. And after this header, you can write the variables that are under this header. So for example, you can have public string my name, and let's copy it down. Let's call it my surname, and maybe one more. So public int my age. And this is how it would look in the inspector. So it would look something like this, that you have the label, the title that is called personal info, and you can write it here. For example, my name is Tony, surname blah blah blah, age blah blah. So you can have it here, but the nicer way, for me at least, is to use the box group that comes with NaughtyAttributes. So basically the name of it is box group, and you have to give it a title, the label, and I'll call it personal info also. And after this you have to write the variable. So we will have the same variable, string my name 2. You have to write 2 at the end, so it will not conflict with the above one. And the 1- for me, but it's also a plus, that if you want to group things together, you have to rewrite the box group again, because normally if you don't write it, it will only put this variable into this box group. So let me show you what I mean. So if I have my surname 2, and for example I have my age 2, and if this will not be in the box group, it would look something like this. So you have this my personal info box, and it only have my name in it and my surname too in it, but my age is not included because we didn't add the box group attribute to it. So you have to add the attribute to each variable that you want to be in this box group. But it's also a plus because, for example, if I would put this above at the top, for example, I like to segregate ints first, to use int at the top and string at the end. If you save this, you can see that my h2, now it will be included into this box, but like the normal my age will not be included under the header because it's above the header. So the header will just be on top of each variable that is below it. And if you are using box group, you can have your variables all over your place in the script, and you can segregate it better if you want. So this is the first attribute that I use all the time, so it's called box group, so remember it, it's a nice group. Okay, so I will just leave it here so you can see it later in the inspector. So the next thing I want to show you is the slider. Basically, the Unity comes with the built-in slider, so you can have, for example, range. It's called range, and you have to specify the minimum value, so it will be 1, and for example 100, it's an age, so it will be an int, so you can delete the f, and this will give you the range. And the NaughtyAttribute one, it's called slider, and we will see the difference now, so I will call it my h2. And let's come back to the script, or to the editor, and here you can see that there's practically no difference between two of them. You can use either one, but the developer said that he just wants to make his own slider, that's why it's in it. But what the Unity doesn't have is a minimum maximum slider. So basically, let me delete this. So for example, if you want to have a minimum maximum slider like I showed you, it has to be a vector tool. So you have public vector tool, and let's call it min max look angle. And for example, you want to assign it to be new vector 2, let it be from -90 to 90 degrees. And the attribute that you want to write above it, it's called min max slider. So it's very, like, it tells for itself what it means. So you just have to specify the minimum value, and the minimum value will be -90, and the maximum will be, I don't know, 180. And if we save it and we come back to the editor, you can see that how it looks. So basically you can slide these things and you can change the value. If you slide the left one, it will affect the left value, so it's X value, and this one is the Y value, so it will assign the corresponding number to it. So here, if I want to have, I don't know, 145, it will change properly. And you can also slide the whole line, so it will change. It will keep the length of it, and it will just slide from left to right. And it's also a nice thing, like normal Unity vector tool looks like this. So if I write min max value look angle 2, it will just give you the X value and the Y value. Okay, so next attribute is reordable list. So let's have a list. So I will write the Unity typical one. So if you have public list, and I don't know, list of game object, and let's call it game objects. And I forgot to, in order to use list, you have to write additional library. So you have to use system that collections that generic. So thanks to that, you can use the list. So we have a custom list of game objects, and I will also write the NaughtyAttributes one. So it will be game objects 2, and to add the attribute, you just have to write the reordable list. So thanks to that, let's go back. As you can see, this is the Unity built one list. So for example, if you add 3 elements, and let's add like 3 game objects, and I will just duplicate them so they have 1 to 3. If you drag each one here, it's okay, but what if you would like to change the order of them? Then you can't change the order of them. You have to assign, like if you want to reverse the list here, or you just want to change some elements, like swap elements with each other, you have to drag them again, like manually. So now I reverse it. But if you have this reordable list, so if you add 3 elements, you can drag like all of them, and you can basically now change the placement of them, and it's a lot cleaner and it's a lot nicer, and it saves you a lot of time. So imagine if you have a lot bigger list, this would save you a lot of time. And especially if you have a list that you need to have it organized. But if you have a list that is basically a list that contains the game objects and you don't care about their order, you can use the typical Unity one. But if you have a list that you need to keep track of the order, and the order needs to be correct, I would use this one. And also it looks a lot nicer, so I recommend this. So let me delete the Unity game object list, and I will keep it as an example. And also this also works for the arrays. So if you copy it down and you want to have the array of game object, as you can see, it will just work just fine, and it will just work the same. So the next attribute is a button. So basically a button is, you can use it to trigger some methods that you commonly use. It can be private, so it can be private void. Let's call it method. No, let's call it present myself. And in this method, you can debug that log, for example, your name. So I will just write my name is blah blah, not blah blah, it's my name. So it has to be my name, and we can copy it down. Let's call it my surname is. If you add a button above this class, so you just have to write a button, and you can give it a name. So you don't have to give it a name. If you don't give it a name, it will use the name of the method, but I will give it a name so you can use it. Introduce myself. And if you save it, let's go back. You can see that you have this custom button, and if you click on it, so let's click on it, you can see that it's debug.log my name, surname, and also the the age. And this method is very simple because I just want you to see how it works, but you can use it to a lot of stuff. So for example, if you have the audio clip that you want to preview, you can also do it here. So you can just write audio source at play, and it will basically play it. So you can use it to your advantage. And yeah, guys, it's a very handy tool, and you can do a lot of stuff with it. So it's a button. Okay guys, so I'll end it here. There's a lot more attributes that I can cover, but the video is already too long. And if you want me to like show the others, just let me know in the comments, or just leave the like, leave the like, and I will cover them. But if you don't want to wait, you can go to the GitHub of this guy, the Dennis Rizov, and he's the developer of this nice cool add-on, and the link I will leave you in the description. And you can see that he has the description of each attribute under here, so it's a very nice document, so you can go and see for yourself. But if you don't want to, just wait for me and I will cover them. So thank you guys for watching, and see you guys in the next one. Bye.